with great regret. There's no organization in this country that could do more for the struggling black man than the Black Muslim movement if it wanted to. But it has gotten into the possession of a man who's become senile in his old age and perhaps doesn't realize it. And then he has surrounded himself by his children who are now in power and want nothing but luxury and security and comfort and will do anything to safeguard their own interests. So I feel responsible for having played a major role in developing a criminal organization. It was not a criminal organization at the outstart. It was an organization that had the power, the spiritual power, to reform the criminals. And this is what you have to understand. As long as that strong spiritual power was in the movement, it gave the moral strength to the believer that would enable him to rise above all his negative tendencies. I know, because I went into the movement with more negative tendencies for the betterment of the community by any means necessary. And since tonight we had to get into this old nasty negative subject, we didn't want to bring up our program. We're going to have... But as the African nation got it, we became proud of it. And the became proud of it, we began to have something legal effect with it. But
you mentioned conspiracy between the black Muslims and the right wing in this country. Could you elaborate on it?
I mentioned the conspiracy between the Muslims and the right wing in this country. I know for a fact that there is a conspiracy between the Muslims and the Lincoln Rockwell Nazi and also the Ku Klux Klan. There is a conspiracy.
Describe this conspiracy.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan made a deal, or were trying to make a deal with Elijah Muhammad in 1960 in the home of Jeremiah X, the minister in Atlanta at that time, who was president as a minister in Philadelphia. They were trying to make a deal with him to make available to Elijah Muhammad a county, a size tract of land in Georgia or South Carolina, where Elijah Muhammad could then but I do know that after that, could roam the entire South and the Klan.
The attempt was made on your life.
Not necessarily that conspiracy. The attempt was made upon my life because I speak my mind and I know too much, and they know that I will speak it whether they like it or not.
You gotta pay me, $, King on Rouse. Cash App.
Am I urging my followers to take action against the Muslims? No. No.
So, live audio on Rouse. Alright, so
am I going to try and infiltrate their organization and win over
live
No, I have never tried to win supporters from Elijah Muhammad. Since I have left the Black Muslim movement, I've spoken at these rallies.
Alright, give me $1. $, King on Rouse.
Those who don't. But I've never gone out of my way to win over any of his followers. And he himself is fearful because he knows that you don't have to exercise too much energy to win his followers. As soon as
Alright,
truth,
so I'm not answering any more questions until someone pays me $1, King on Rouse. On Rouse again. That's what's going on.
Unmercifully up in Boston. And the court
I think I can save this one. I think I'm still live. And then I'm going to upload it on something else.
And he was on the inside.
Okay, so turn off the light.
Specialty squad.
Because none of y'all doing shit. Write the whole story.
Who heard Elijah Muhammad Jr. come to New York when Elijah Muhammad was at the Armory in June of last year. Jr. stood up and told the fruit, many of whom are here now also.
Writing books.
I should have been killed. That my tongue should have been put in an envelope and sent back to Chicago by now. And because Fat Joseph had not done it, they demoted him. He remained captain, but Clarence...
All right.
...over Joseph. And Joseph's authority was curtailed. And then Clarence, the captain from Boston, and John, the captain from Springfield, came to New York to assassinate me. And came to him to get a silencer. And couldn't get it. So the police know this. It's not something that's new. They just wait until the job is done and then they step in. Yes, now, Elijah Muhammad called all of his officials, national officials, to Chicago in October and ordered them to kill or maim any of his followers who leave him to follow me. Well, when you say, how do I know? Many of the brothers who were in at that time are out now. And if this ever come into the court, there are plenty of witnesses who can stand up and testify to it. Pardon? Pardon.
This specific.
I'd rather not say at this time.
Oh, Roast the Cat. I see how you doing today. Yo, it's the captain of the ship. My name is on Roast. Yo, they call me Captain Kurt in this bitch.
Give them 2 more minutes and we'll end it.
We're on the spaceship and we're tipping. We're tipping through the clouds. I'm talking very loud.
Yes, when I said that no one can clean up our home but us, and that we will clean it up.
All right, there was a story about Mary.
No one should control it but us, including
There was a story about Mary.
I mean exactly that. That the black people.
All right, this is
Thinking of who? How?
this is Captain Kurt. This is Captain Kurt. This is a story on Roast. So on Roast the God is the captain of the spaceship. On Roast the God is chilling. He's just vibing out. He's doing some on Roast the God stuff. And in this story, on Roast the God is the captain of a spaceship. It's called Planet on Roast. Now in this spaceship,
But nobody outside the family can instigate us against power.
he was pushing this spaceship all through the planets and all through the stars.
Politically, I mean that the politics of the community of Harlem should be controlled by those of us who live.
He was going up
by somebody sitting down
and down and through Mars, Venus, Uranus, a little taco joint or something like that. I don't know. But or else the guy was getting high as a motherfucker. So somewhere in the spaceship, he got some chicken. And when he was on that spaceship, he ate the chicken and got very full. Yeah, this is just another night on Roast. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I can't hear myself. What's happening, y'all? Y'all gotta pay me $$ King on Roast to answer any questions. What's happening, y'all?
Or anti-white or anti-German or anything like that. But it means we're pro-Harlem.
I'm really writing down a story.
We want to start doing something for ourselves. That's all it means. It means that we want to stop begging you for your school. We want you to get out of the way and let us straighten out the schools in Harlem.
Oh, there was a story about Mary. They had a story about the birth of Jesus Christ. You remember that story? That story was funny as fuck. That shit was all plagiarized from like other tablets and movies and shit like that. That shit was all recycled, watered down. Everything that goes on now has happened in the past. Everything's been recycled. Everything's been... That's all a movie now. What's reality and what's not reality.
Religion is Islam. It's a religion of peace.
It's so weird. You can get in touch with yourself.
Yes, I do believe there'll be.
Hey, what's happening? So Roast the God. You gotta pay me to answer any questions on Roast. I'm not doing any free stuff. It's $$ King on Roast. This is what I do for fun. I'm a psychic. I read comedy, tarot. I can counsel you.
He knows that if he had wanted to,
I'm gonna write some self-help books. I had some topics.
by teaching the right religion of Islam, he could have done so. The entire Muslim world would have accepted him. As it is now, the Muslim world has rejected him. He can never go into the Muslim world saying that he's a prophet.
I actually had topics. Let me get this shit out.
They would cut his head off if he said that over there. I mean, he knows this. None of his followers can go over there without denouncing him. It's impossible for them to go to Mecca or any other place unless they ascribe to Islam as it is ascribed to over there. So he was in a position to unite us with the Muslim world, those of us who are Muslims. He was also in a position to unite us with Africa. But you cannot read anything that Elijah Muhammad has ever written that's pro-African. I defy you to find one word in his direct writing that's pro-African. You can't find it. Listen to this question this man asked me. What are you trying to get at? No, he asked me, look, now I got to tell him what you asked me. He asked me, don't I think if I got hurt, you know, don't
Car's all new and sticky.
retaliate? What are you trying to say? Or what are you trying to get me to say? I mean, it's okay. I'm not
Okay.
getting in trouble. These are your friends in here. But
I'm watching Malcolm X, Elijah Mackay, teaching more science on Roast Gat. So that's what I'm watching. $sign King on Roast. You gotta pay me to talk. So if you want to answer any questions or any psyche shit, you gotta pay on Roast Gat. And that's what this card is for. You need to listen up. Now,
this is very interesting and a great opportunity because what I'm telling you is what I really found out. What I'm telling you is what
alright, that's kind of normal. I'm working, so that's $sign King on Rose. You can go fuck yourself. So listen, you gotta pay me. That's $sign King on Rose. My phone number is 773-719-8862. That's $sign King on Rose. You can call King on Rose. It's the campaign, $sign King on Rose. And that's what I'm doing. That's my business. So, you want to know my business? This is my business. Go fuck yourself. That's listen up. That's the business. So, I'm doing oracle cards. I'm doing everything underneath the sun. So, what do you want to know today? I had some topics too. I had someone reach out to me on the Psychic Network. And they were talking about they want to know what life purpose is, why are we here, and shit like that. Just little questions of life, and those were really good to know. So, nurture. It's another great reason to be in life. And move past things, move on. To observe, really explore life. Got a whole bunch of different teachings in my head, so this is what I do. Control. So if you ever want to get into some psychic shit, this is the new wave, this is the new thing. It's $sign King on Rouse. Gotta open up more. So that's $sign King on Rouse. This is my church, this is my planet, this is the sun. And I talk my shit for fun. This is $sign King on Rouse.
we don't keep losing because we're bad people. We keep losing because we can't read. And we don't respect.
Rest and reconsider some options in life.
Now, example, I'm giving you something that you can find out.
Daydreams and decisions. A lot of people got a lot of daydreams and decisions right now. And some joy and stability in your life.
I'm telling you what people need to understand about language.
Those were my heart oracle cards. There's some positive messages to go through right now. I'm not going to do this one long. The simple message in this message right here. This is On Rouse the Guide. Planet On Rouse. That's Nur Ali El On Rouse. Moorish. American. That's my declaration. I can teach you more about Moorish America. And anything else you want, you gotta pay me $sign King on Rouse to tout. That's Anur Ali El On Rouse.
People don't know that. So they think that we're criticizing the word of life. It's not that. It's the defendability principle. If they dictionary, they would know this function. Now, black, ordinary dictionary, 3rd grade grammar, adjective, 3rd grader, baby. What's a proper noun? Baby. Proper nouns, person, place, thing, or idea. What's an adjective? It's a modifier. It can modify a noun with qualification, but it cannot be an identity. It describes. It does not identify. 3rd grade grammar. An adult, because they wrote.
All right, so that's the lights
out.
off.
Defend that. Take the child to an ordinary dictionary. Adjective. Then go to the brackets.
Okay, so I mean.
Then you take the child to the appendix and you put its number on it, which is its date. And he's a teacher, he'll tell you. 1100.
There is a lot of different teachings.
Which means that word doesn't go on the planet past 1100. Middle English. Then it says DER, derived, Old High German. Then you go look up in the appendix.
Okay, so that's normal shit.
High school. Shining.
Felt good for like 5 seconds. All right.
What's that got to do with? No, wait a minute. What does that have to do with complexion? But that's not really the argument. The issue is when you use it as an identity, it becomes what is known in law a nom de guerre. Now, in law, this is what occurs in law.
Are you Moorish?
Law is based on nations
pennies.
and nation states.
Are you Moorish?
The nation states are based on the pedigrees of people, and sometimes they're politically attributed. However,
who wants to get spiritual with all Rouse to get?
Of your mothers and your fathers. And that's what pulls in what is
no one's hearing me, so.
Trump, Roman law, civil law, canon law, and you know
Moorish
the
name.
they use for the double stock trust.
Anur Ali Elon Rose. Anur Ali Elon Rose.
Go right into congressional records because it's documented. It's not hidden. And anybody claims to be a scholar and don't acknowledge that is either deceiving or they're full of juju. Now, I'm telling you the facts that can be researched for yourself, so I'm giving you reference. Now, as soon as you transact
a lot of stuff doesn't need to be said over and over again.
It's called agency. No matter how many generations, it automatically goes to as state property, you're awarded the state. Same thing with the marriage certificate, which is registered in the Department of Orphans by
Are you listening to this?
Who's 9 times out of 10 is a Mason.
This is Moorish science. I'm a Moorish American from Chicago. Get your Moorish American nationality card. Declare you're Moorish American.
Know these people are Moors. That's just short for Al-Moroccan. Al-Moroccan is what they call Americans. We're the Americans.
We are the Americans.
And this ain't India, though they call us Indians.
That's the Indians. That's the Native Americans. That's all.
And my grandmom's side is Blackfoot. They ain't Blackfoot either. Do you understand? Those are European codes. And this is
anybody listening?
We're Moabite. Canaanite blood.
Can I get any shares? Any $sign King on Rouse?
The great earthquake, so sometimes they call us Ivri, those who cross the river.
That's Anur Ali, Elon Rouse, Elon Rouse, Elon Rouse, Elon Rouse. It's happening.
Confused with anything else. Now the deal of this.
I don't feel like wearing a fez hat though.
That word, then you'll see in an ordinary unabridged dictionary that'll have right beneath it the morphology or the transit of the words from one language to another. It'll have black dot a dot more dot. And then the black will be all solid case, the more will be capitalized, small case, more, small case, R. And it'll say archaic, no longer used. And they'll separate the black adjective from the more. It says any dark-skinned man, woman, or child, Asiatic, African.
Malcolm X.
Is that your legal name?
As far as I'm concerned, it's my legal name.
Have you been to court?
Hey, my new legal name, Anar Ali Elon Rouse.
Excuse me, French.
Moorish American, what's happening? Snake Messiah killer. Killing all the snakes, we some dragons. Dragon energy, what's happening? My name is On Roast again.
Irish name,
what's happening?
Or the name that has a Caucasian or white background. And a yellow person. Chinese is a yellow
Ross
man.
Tenson died.
And he has
See, I was kind of pissed off when they, I started talking too much shit. They got my ID and shit, so I know people watch me, so you can watch me all you want. I don't give a shit. My name is On Roast again.
I think it would be just as improper for a black person or the so-called Negro in this country, as we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to walk around with these names. And therefore, he teaches us that during slavery, the same slave master who owned us put his last name on us to denote that we were his property. So when you see a Negro today who's named Johnson, if you go back in his history, you'll find that he was once his grandfather or one of his forefathers was owned by a white man who was named Johnson. Johnson. His name was Bunch. His grandfather was owned by a
I
white
get
man
the point.
that was named Bunch.
Would you mind telling me what your father's last name was?
My father didn't know his last name. My father got his last name from his grandfather, and his grandfather got it from his grandfather, who got it from the slave master. The real names of our people were destroyed during slavery.
Was there any line, any point in the genealogy of your family when you did have to use the last name, and if so, what was it?
The last name of my forefathers was taken from them when they were brought to America and made slaves. And then the name of the
Oh
slave
yeah,
master
I still didn't
was
get
given,
paid. So
which
go
we
fuck
refused to
yourself.
reject
Who else
that
the
name.
cat Dollar Sign King
You
on
mean
Rouse
you won't
championing?
even tell me what your father's
I be forgetting
supposed
shit.
last name was, or gifted
This shit is
last
dope.
name was?
My shit is real. My name is on Roast the Gat.
Let me
You wanna
ask
know what
you
the spirit
about
is? You don't wanna know what
status of
spirituality
Elijah
is?
Muhammad. First of all, is he ill?
I spoke to him today. He is in better health than he has been. He's suffering from asthmatic bronchitis.
Is that why he didn't attend your rally on last Tuesday?
The only reason that he didn't attend was his ill condition, and the weather here, especially on that particular day, was of such nature that it would have been almost insane for him to come.
Alright, so I'm gonna get myself
Well, now, did you hold that meeting
juking.
last Tuesday because it coincided with the general election, the primary election?
I think if you study the history of Mr. Muhammad's work and religious work in this country, we've had our convention on February the 26th every year for I think the past 33 years.
Well, now, while you don't care to discuss your former name or the name that the slave master gave to your antecedents, it is a matter of record that Muhammad's last name was Poole, Elijah Poole.
No, that's the name that his slave master gave to his grandfather or great-grandfather, but that's not his name.
Well, his mother and father thought when they called him Elijah Poole that was his name.
They didn't know any better.
Well, if they didn't know any better or not, they thought that was his name.
Yes, sir, but
So what
sir,
I'm trying to find out is when did he cease to be Elijah Poole and get to be Elijah Muhammad?
in 1931, I think it was, in Detroit, he was taught the true history of our people and made aware at that time that he was wearing an English name, and by not being an Englishman, he looked out of place. And his teacher gave him the name that he's wearing today, Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad.
All right, now when did he become what he purports to be in your literature, the son of Allah?
I've never heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad referred to as the son
The
of
prophet
Allah.
of Allah.
I've never heard him referred to as the prophet of Allah,
What do you refer to?
messenger of Allah.
All right, the messenger of Allah, and I appreciate the correction.
Yes, I mean, he says that a prophet is somebody who predicts the future, and he's not predicting the future, whereas a messenger is someone who carries a message that has been given to him by one who authors that message.
Well, now who gave him the message and to whom is it supposed to be delivered?
Master W.F. Muhammad, the one who taught him, is the author of the message. He gave it to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which makes him the messenger. And he's to deliver that message of truth and righteousness to the 20 million American so-called Negroes. Which means he's to teach us the truth, which will awaken us, and then show us how to live a life of righteousness, which will automatically qualify us for recognition as human beings by all other righteous human beings here on this earth.
Well, now one other question. With reference to what Mr. Hurlbut asked you a little bit ago, you took a very moderate position of wanting independence without having any hatred for the whites. Do I understand that correctly?
Hatred is not involved in it whatsoever.
Well, I recall in a recent plane crash, 2 or 3 years ago, or less than that, a charter flight on Air France in which a group of people from Atlanta, Georgia, were, as they say in the business, as they took off from Arley Field. And you were quoted at that time as expressing great gratification that this tragedy had occurred. Do you recall that?
I recall it.
What did you
It
say?
was,
Do you remember?
The press misinterpreted it and misrepresented it.
What did you say?
They said that it was made at a Muslim meeting. It wasn't. It was made at a rally of Negroes, Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, and otherwise in Los Angeles, who were rallying to protest the brutal shooting of 7 unarmed Negroes
And what did you
by
say?
heavily armed white policemen in the city of Los Angeles. And because we are a people who have been taught by the Honorable Elijah,
What the fuck? It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Looking like I still go fraud. It's that Z shit
What's happening? You gotta pay me to speak. It's $, King on Roast. Carry.
Elijah Muhammad to never carry weapons of any kind, but to get on God's side and rely on God to fight our battles for us. At the time that these brothers were shot down so brutally, I pointed out at the funeral of the brother who died that God would step in and take a hand in giving us some form of justice for the brutal killing of our brother. And when the plane crashed in France, I pointed out to the crowd at this rally that this was an act of God showing his wrath or complete resentment over the brutal form of injustice that had been inflicted upon our poor unarmed brothers.
Well, you said that, or did you believe it?
At that time, Dr. Billy Graham was in a crusade in Chicago, and the press, your papers here in this city, quoted Billy Graham of also saying that plane crash was an act of God. And if you take time to check the newspapers, I think that you'll find that this is correct. But no one thought that Billy Graham was so wrong when he attributed the crash of this plane to his God. But when we say that it come from our God, then we're looked upon as being, outrageous.
I know, but you took the position that this was a matter of satisfaction to you for an injustice done against you, and I think that that's a trifle severe.
We did not think that it was a coincidence that 120 of the whites on this plane came from the state of Georgia, a state that has the worst record in the history of America for the mistreatment of black people in this country.
Worse than Mississippi?
They maybe are a little less. Mississippi is a little less hypocritical today than Georgia, but both of them are still practicing the same thing. Now the whites in Georgia bite Negroes with a smile, whereas they used to bite them with a growl. But they're still being bitten, and we don't think that it is any worse to be bitten with a smile than it is to be bitten with a growl.
Mr. Calvert.
While we're on the subject of Mississippi, what is your organization's position of what happened in Mississippi in the past?
Such as what?
Such as the James Meredith incident and the enrollment of him in the university.
Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wants justice for every one of the 20 million so-called Negroes, and to just take one Negro and stick him in college with the aid of 15,000 troops, and at a cost of $6,000. Is a disgrace. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a farce. It's hypocrisy. Because if it's right for one Negro to be forced into that university, then every Negro in the state of Mississippi who is qualified has the same right to go to that university. And if the government is not ready and willing to enforce the right of every Negro in the state of Mississippi, then, in my opinion, sir, it's only hypocrisy to pretend that they are for justice by pushing one Negro in and blowing it up all over the world to make it look like they're solving the problem when millions of black people in that state are still going to segregated schools and getting an inferior education.
Does your organization encourage members to attempt to enter schools that have been known as all white?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad doesn't discourage us from attending white schools, but he does say that it is better for us to go to our own schools. And after we have a thorough knowledge of ourselves, of our own kind, and racial dignity has been instilled within us, then we can go to anyone's school and we'll still retain our race pride, our racial dignity, and we will be able to avoid the subservient inferiority complex that most Negroes have or that is instilled within most Negroes who receive this sort of integrated education.
Malcolm X was Louis Farrakhan's mentor, his teacher in the Nation of Islam. They believed that the white man was evil, that the black and white races should live separately. When Malcolm X revealed publicly that Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, was guilty of impregnating several of his teenage secretaries in direct violation of his own preachings of no sex outside marriage, Farrakhan was outraged, and he wrote that Malcolm was, quote, worthy of death. On February 21st, 1965, as Malcolm spoke in New York City's Audubon Ballroom, members of the Nation of Islam opened fire, killing him in front of hundreds of his supporters. Malcolm's wife and children were there, including Atala Shabazz, Malcolm's eldest daughter. She was sick at the time. As you will see on 60 Minutes this Sunday, Mr. Farrakhan met Atala Shabazz for the first time in front of television cameras. And Farrakhan acknowledged his role in Malcolm's assassination.
I wish that Malcolm X were alive today.
Okay, I'm
and not dead. Yes, it is true that black men pulled the trigger. We cannot deny any responsibility in this. Where we are responsible, where our hands are a part of this, we beg God's mercy and forgiveness.
What did you expect to come out of this conversation? What did you hope would come?
I genuinely hope that perhaps a healing can come to Miss Shabazz and her family. As I may have been complicit in words that I spoke leading up to February 21st, I acknowledge that and regret that any word that I have said caused the loss of life of a human being.
On Sunday, you'll see how painful it was for Atala Shabazz to listen to Minister Farrakhan's memories of her father's life and death. Malcolm was only 39 years old when he was killed. This month, he would have been 75.
After Malcolm X came back from Mecca, that's when things started to get a lot more tense and a lot more, crazy in terms of his whole.
Is the method that the white man uses, how the white man uses these big guns or Negro leaders against the black revolution. They're not a part of the black revolution. They're used against the black revolution. When Martin Luther King failed to desegregate Albany, Georgia, the civil rights struggle in America reached its low point. King became bankrupt almost as a leader. Plus, even financially, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was in financial trouble. Plus, it was in trouble, period, with the people when they failed to desegregate Albany, Georgia. Other Negro civil rights leaders of so-called national stature became fallen idols. As they became fallen idols, began to lose their prestige and influence, local Negro leaders began to stir up the masses. In Cambridge, Maryland, Gloria Richardson. In Danville, Virginia. In other parts of the country.
All right, so.
Began to stir up our people at the grassroots.
Ah, shit.
This was never done by these Negroes whom you recognize.
So I'll make this short, so I can actually watch it back. So, long story short, my name is Rouse the Cat. I'm a spiritual prophet, and I guess you've seen my face 100 different times. So, if you want to read, that's $sign King on Rouse. PayPal me, inbox 773-719-8862. Book a read today on Rouse the Guy. That's $sign King on Rouse. This is the March. I've got some beautiful cards. I'm feeling the energy today. Hello, Rouse the Guy. This is what I gotta say. See the cards.
Starting trouble everywhere and then making the NAACP get them out of jail and spend a lot of money
show you a couple of these. So these, just showing you some stuff you can get to know. Council.
That's when Kennedy sent in the troops down in Birmingham. So, and right after that, Kennedy got on the television and said, this is a moral issue. So that's when he said he's going to put out a civil rights bill.
These would be my past life cards. Booker Reed, $sign King O. Ross. Call me now, on Roast again.
March on the Congress and tie it up. Bring it to a halt. Don't let the government proceed. They even said they were going to go out to the airport and lay down on the runway and don't let no airplanes land. I'm telling you what they said. That was revolution. That was revolution. That was the black revolution. It was the grassroots out there in the street. Scared the white man to death. Scared the white power structure in Washington, D.C. to death. I was there.
Alright, make this one short. These are life purpose. Gotta pay me to speak.
They called in Randolph. They called in these national Negro leaders that you respect and told them, call it off. Kennedy said, look, y'all let me.
On Ross the God, this is on Ross the God, this is Planet on Ross, that's $sign King on Ross. Sun God, 7-star spiritual planet. My church is my planet. The church is the sun. We talk shit for fun. I'm a prophet. I'm a psychic reader. On Ross the God. I believe it if you believe it. On Ross the God. Congratulations to Craig Jackson. Oh yeah, that's what I was meaning to do. This was out to Craig Jackson. Craig Jackson, man, that shit crazy, yo. Forgot about that shit. Motherfucker having a baby. Everybody's having kids these days. It's like people growing up. That's just crazy to, you know. It's a life purpose for you. Is writing. Oh, so yeah, Craig, start writing. You need to start writing, nigga. You need to heal. You need to inspire people on your story. Link up so we can write a book. Ross the God is writing books. Teaching. So it's time to teach. Craig, it's time to do some shit. I got some shit cooking right now. I got a lot of spoken word. You know, I'm working with the spirits. Justice is here. Time to decide in your life where you want to go. Family, that's what's coming up. Sensitivity, you're probably like a big wet baby right now. Flowers, you need some flowers for your wet baby. What else to get? Studying, so you need to study. Definitely. More tattoos on Roast the God. And you're on the right path. You really are. Congratulations. That's some real life shit. You gotta pay me. $sign King on Ross. That's some real life shit. Yoga. A lot of people need to meditate. Just like on Roast the God. Get like on Roast the God. Get happy. Change your career. Change your life. This is what I do. This is my church. My church is educating, lighting people up, giving everybody counseling. People ask me questions like, what's life's purpose? And that's why I gotta write books. And I actually have to really, really like get into this shit. It's like, it's scary to get even deeper into this stuff. I mean, when you evolve, you don't understand, you keep on evolving. And the most humbling thing in life is, I don't ever want to be famous, but I got so much in the noodle, I'm gonna end up famous anyway. So it's kind of fucked up. So that's $sign King on Ross. That's $sign King on Ross. Freedom. And getting your own business is freedom. So $sign King on Ross. There's donations. Any donations? That's my real life business. I got a 7-star Sun God 7-star spiritual planet. That's my temple. Moorish American temple. Because it's my own shit. And that's $sign King on Ross. I ain't never really had anybody to build anything with, so it's $sign King on Ross till I have somebody to build something with. Follow my lead. I'm the leader. My name is on Ross the God. Let's build some shit. travel. That's what the Moorish card is for. So, on Ross the Gaddy's got plans. If you were just willing to listen and take direction, on Ross the Gadd is ready to run. Strength, hold on. People with a lizard, and I'm a builder, so let's build some shit. On Ross the Gadd, life purposes. I said I wasn't gonna talk. I forgot. I was doing a congratulations for Cray Cray. I do more stuff. I do wishes. I do lotions. I do potions. I do everything underneath the sun. I've got a whole product line coming out. It's just really too much to talk about. Like, I'm focused. These are the tarot cards, so I'm just gonna pull just a couple. Shut up, Bootsy. Goes out to Cray Cray. Fuck it. Cray Cray, you wanna learn some tarot too? I can teach you this shit, nigga. What's friends for? Fuck. Now that the shit's open and shit like that, so I mean, this is just pretty much what I do. I mean, each card represents what it is. So this goes out to Cray Cray Jackson, and this goes out to all cancers out there. So Heaven's pennies would be the Ace of Pentacles. So just a little good news that some money's coming in. So, or you're not losing money, or there's some good news coming in all the way around. And having strength, you see the lion, you know what I'm saying, the affinity, it's just being strong. Wheel of Fortune, because you can have whatever fortune you like. And cup filling back up on Ross the Gadd. Being replenished with the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, family, wishes, grants, fulfillments, all that shit being true. New kid coming in. Congratulations. 3 of Wands, come out of that, because your ship is already here. You have the star, you're the star in the movie. 9 of Rods, Dawn Before the Storm. You're the Cancer, you're the Chariot. Travel. Use your intuition, because use your intuition. If you understand there's something a little bit better, just move on. Because better things always await, and this goes to all cancers, even to myself. I've learned to pick up and move on. On Ross the Gadd, single like a prinkle. Fuck you mean? And I've just been chilling in the house, living some life. $ King on Ross, living good, learning some trade, bring some tarot. What's happening? And I got that. So this can just go out for Capricorn going right now. Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm going to do this one real quick, because I actually want to just watch his back. This is all promotion, $ King on Ross. So we're going to go with Cappies today. Long story short, Capricorn, you have a King of Swords, so Gemini, there's a death. between y'all. The secrets are unmasked. Walking away from something. The Knight of Coins, so someone young with a new thought. Ace of Swords. Knight of Swords, so things rushing in. And things keep on falling down for you Capricorn, so pick yourself up. Or else the guy sail on through. That's for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. That's the, it's my little Egyptian deck. I grant wishes too, I'm Aladdin. Okay, so we're gonna do this one real quick.
1,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Whoa! Whoa! What's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Can we call you Al, or maybe just Din? I have a
Granting wishes still too. $sign King O Rose.
Come on, Aladdin. Yo, Rodney. Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some castle. Yo, yo. Hey, you're a lot smaller than my last master. Either that or I'm getting bigger. Look at me from the side. Do I look
I grant wishes, do potions.
I can't kill anybody.
So don't ask.
Oh, rule number 2. I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else.
Can't make people fall in love.
Bring people back from the dead.
Oh, there's a real life joke about the dead too.
Other than that, you got it. Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me?
It goes out for the Libras. So what's happened to the lucky Libras out there?
You're getting your wishes, so down!
No, I never.
Then I'm gonna do Sagittarius and leave.
You did that on your own.
Well, I feel sheepish.
All right, you bad boy. But no more freebies. Fair deal? Can you make me a prince? Oh, let's see.
So long story short, money's coming in with that Ace of Hazards, being reborn, having a bone, new wands, to be a spiritual birth, with somebody indulged with, 8 of coins, pay attention to the details, to who it is, and then the 10 of cups. New ideas, this is you, definitely older woman, and then hanging there. And you're on a journey too. Oh, what else we got?
What better way to make your grand entrance on the streets of Agrabah than riding your very own brand new camel? Watch out, they spit.
Not enough.
Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising.
That's a good move.
Now let's go with Leo.
I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
So if you're a Leo out there, Leo, Virgo, tussle line, let's go for that energy.
If you want to court the little lady,
right around that date, 18 to 26 Leos. Pacific.
I'm getting really...
I don't think you're him. Tonight, the part of Al will be played by a tall, dark, and sinister, ugly man.
I am your master now.
I'm afraid of that.
I wish for Princess Jasmine to fall desperately in love with me.
Slave.
Jafar. I never realized how incredibly handsome you are.
That's better.
So Leo, could he either go either way? With the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups could be the either going to be pregnant, need to be pregnant, want to be pregnant for the Leos, or a Leo heart. And usually by someone that's slippery, and that's with the 9 of Cups in reverse. So many ideas. Then you got the Lovers and Judgment. The 4 of Wands coming together. Babies can go either direction between hanging over a past thought with 4 of Cups and then the 5 of Cups. And then Wands victorious at the end. Leos with the Virgo energy. So if you're looking for your soulmate, younger, something like that, go get your soulmate. If you think somebody's cute, go reach out to him because he's single like a Pringle. Home Rose to get. Home Rose to get, and that's $sign King O Rose. You gotta pay me to speak, and that's $ King on Ross. That's what I do for a living. This is the business, and the business is on Ross the Guy. That's simple. I'm single like a Pringle, and this is what I do all day long. $ King on Ross. 773-719-8862. That's my real number. On Ross the Guy. You can call me, give me a text. If you like this shit, share the shit. $ King on Ross. That's Cash App. PayPal me. / on Ross the Guy. $ King on Ross. Pay me some shit. I can slide if you pay me. Pay me, donate. Actually, it's all donations because I've got a 503c, so this is actually a non-profit church. So any donation is going for the non-profit. Yeah, it's a 50c church. I might have paperwork for that. I'm actually really launching this business, so it's actually a real business. So it's about to get real business-like. So I have my 501c. It'll be an actual donation. And so I can write it off. You can write it off for tax, any donations or anything like that, because I do have my 501c documents, paperwork. My business is actually licensed and certified through the state of Illinois, federal tax ID number, get all that type of stuff. I got my DMB number, got a real business. And that's on Ross the Guy. So I'm the prophet, $ King on Ross for me to talk. Cash App, that's all my business. I'm a prophet, I can tell you some shit. I can counsel you. You gotta pay me to speak, $ King on Ross. You gotta pay me, you gotta pay me, you gotta pay me, you gotta pay me. $ King on Ross. That's the truth, that's the message today. You gotta pay me, you gotta pay me, and you gotta pay me. I can do everything underneath the sun. I can read you some stuff. We can cancel you, we can get your spirit back, we can get your soul back. We can do whatever you like. My name is On Ross the Guy, and I'm a prophet, and I'm a Moorish descent, and I've got some things cooking, and I'm not gonna tell you. On Ross the Guy. I got pendulums, yes or no answers. I've got some other unique cards. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna watch this one back, share this shit, $ King on Ross. You gotta pay me to speak, you gotta pay me to speak. That's PayPal me, $ King on Ross. I can do everything underneath the sun, and I'm actually very, very intelligent. Oh, and got tons of energy because I'm a sun guy. And this is my job, so this is my staff. Sun is the light, sun is energy. I am On Ross the Guy. And I'm looking good, looking young. I'm very empathic. I don't have any facial hair because I am an empath. And that means empathically inclined, so that means I'm just empathically inclined. So you gotta pay me $ King on Ross. I can teach you anything. My YouTube channel is On Ross the Guide, and On Ross the Guide is the real life truth. Anar Ali El On Ross, Muslim, Moorish descent. Spiritual planet, it's the sun. I'm a werewolf, and I read tarot. Alright, and I am On Ross the Guide, and I'm reading tarot. Father, $ King on Ross. Congratulations to everybody that's having kids out there. Come together, be better people, positive light, positive affirmations. And I just won the lottery, so I'm very rich right now. So I'm in a different reality. So my reality is me, and I am On Ross the Guide, and I am a spirit. Alright. Oh, and I'm coming after Drake too. I do everything. I can rap and do all that shit. But